Welcome back. Kamloops Film Society is debuting its first film of the spring series tomorrow night. Paramount Theatre, 7 o'clock. It's called Romantic Road. It's a documentary. Sharon Stone is the executive producer. It looks fantastic. Hello to Terry Ann and to Tom.
Hello.
Hello.
All in one breath. I feel winded. How are you guys?
Very excited about the spring series.
Yes, and it's starting right at the start of spring, same week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a documentary. It looks very fascinating. It's about a couple that decides to tour India in their old Rolls Royce, I believe, 1936 Rolls Royce. Give us the information about this.
So we have a couple in their 60s, Jan and Rupert. And they're not going quietly into retirement anytime soon, and they're invited to go to a humanitarian banquet and a celebration, and of course they're the guests of honor, and so they decide that in this decaying symbol of decaying colonialism, this 1936 Rolls Royce, they're going to ship it to Mumbai, and they're going to travel all the way to Bangladesh, to Dhaka, in this rickety old car. And the filmmaker, Oliver McGarvey, he sweet talks them into coming along, and they give him a 2-week probation to see if he works out, and he does. So he follows them with his camera and ends up with, 400 hours of footage in this epic, huge adventure, which lands Jan and Rupert in all of these different scenarios. But most of all, I think what he ended up excavating from the experience was this great love story between the two of them, this 30-plus year marriage.
And a bunch of trial and tribulations on the way, I understand, throughout their voyage.
They, it's interesting, there's this underpinning of this British couple coming to post-colonial India. And so there's this kind of dimension. He's a human rights lawyer, and obviously they have a lot of sympathy for the predicament that India is in, trying to shed its colonial past. But they run into this wide range of Indian society, from the poorest juice-wallas and tea-wallas to the Maharajas, who are still trying to maintain their superior caste status. So it's interesting from that perspective, as well as the personal interaction between the couple and all these other people. And I think, it just gives the impression of this almost like fantasy type of adventure that they've embarked on. And, as Terry Ann says, this is a couple that you really want to know, because they're so fascinating.
And they're quite candid in some of the things they say.
Yes.
And the cinematography, I'm going to imagine, is going to be fantastic in this. We have the trailer. We'll take a look.
We come from very, very different backgrounds, and I'm very skeptical of colonialism. I'm very skeptical of these class divides, and he is at another end of that spectrum.
We all thought and think you were mad, whoever we mentioned it to.
The whole business about driving across India in the post-colonial era in a bloody Rolls Royce, that's kind of mad.
One of the things which is Dad is a hunger for experiencing things.
Well, I came here in early December 1969, and as it happened, we had with us some very high-quality hashish. And now we're here. But sadly, I haven't got any hashish.
For those of us who know them, they have become such an important, inspirational...
Quite a brave thing to do when you really think about it. I mean, they had a production crew with them, but they didn't originally set out intending to make a documentary out of this.
No, that wasn't the original intention. It was truly just the journey, and in fact, initially there was some resistance to having the cameras there. So, yeah, it was something that had to be They had to be convinced.
And they were leading a quiet life in the south of England, in Dorset.
Yes.
Very, secure in their retirement. And yet this invitation to this conference at which Rupert was going to be recognized as a human rights leader, that just sparked something. And they set off, they shipped their Rolls Royce to Mumbai and then took off. And of course, the Indian subcontinent is huge to begin with. I think it's a 3-month trip.
Oh, is it 3 months?
Took 3 months to get across India.
And I like how they talk to his daughter and say that my dad has such a hunger for experiences. And truly, I mean, what greater experience can you have than that in your retirement, really?
Yes.
We're out of time, but this is going to be a fantastic film. It's, again, screening tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Paramount Theatre. Tickets all the usual ways.
Yes.
Movie Mart at the door or online, usually online or at Movie Mart, the better ways to ensure you get your tickets. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, we just want to thank people for the great patronage for our film festival. We had something like 5,200 tickets sold over 10 days.
Good.
And it was a great success, universal acclaim for the quality of the films. And of course, we're starting to think about next year already for the festival.
That's what makes a great festival, when you're planning in advance.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks to the both of you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Information online as well. You can go to the website, of course, KamloopsFilmSeries.ca to check out tomorrow's film along with all the other ones that are part of the spring series. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.